Hello, in this tutorial we'll be covering some of the reporting capabilities of the Survey Manager. The Survey Manager has a very robust, extensive reporting engine, and in this brief tutorial we'll only be covering the analysis reports. So here I've gone to the report module, and in the system, in all the main modules in our system, it's organized the same way, where the main body of the screen are previously created and saved reports in this case. Same with surveys if we were in the survey module. And here you have preview icon, the refresh, which is actually real-time reports if you wanted to run a report and update it later with up-to-the-moment data. You could click there, edit a report, delete a report, etc. Here on the sidebar we have a host of report types available. We'll be focusing here today in the analysis report, but we also have presentation reports where you can combine a multitude of different reports into one report. Automated reports, net promoter score, you can create your own dashboards, you can also schedule reports. Any of these survey reports that have been saved, you can then push on a scheduled basis in any format and to any number of recipients. That's a very powerful feature in the system. So you can pull or push reports in our system, and we're going to be pulling for now since we've logged into an account and we're pulling reports on demand. So here we are in the analysis report screen. Now I can filter based on account, user, survey type, and here's an example of the wide range of modalities available to you in the Survey Manager system. We can support iOS devices, Android devices, Windows devices, even online and paper surveys. So I'm going to go ahead and go down to tablet. And let's look at what surveys have been created for tablets in this particular account. I know we have one, a sample iPad. So we created an iPad survey here. This is 109 responses. We can run a report on the completed surveys, the incomplete surveys, or both combined. If I wanted to drop in and take a look at my raw data, I could just go ahead and do that by clicking on that link, or I can run reports. Now this particular survey has 4 separate locations. I can run a report on one location, combination of locations, or all locations. And that's particularly helpful when you want to compare, obviously, location performance. We're also integrated with Google Maps, since this tablet survey has GPS coordinates being tracked, so you know the time the survey was taken, the duration, the length of the survey, and physically where the survey was taken geographically as well. So I'm going to select down here a survey report type, and summary is obviously where most people start. It gives you an overview. You can drop in and do drill down cross-tabulation calculations either in tabular or graph form, summary graph, trend analysis, compare locations, service scores. Respondent level is a report which allows you to go and look at each individual respondent's survey results. In this case we have 109. So I'm going to start with a summary report. Now I've selected my report type, and now I have a few other options to select from. Do I want to see that summary report as a long format, tabular format, or graph format? Let's go ahead with long, and if I don't select any questions, it will by default generate a report with all my questions in the survey. So I'm going to go ahead and generate, and this is going to show us the summary report in long format, which gives me an overview of the survey, gives me an average score, gives me my frequency and percentage, and makes bold the highest percentage for each question. I can also grab a graph here by just clicking Show Graph. And this is what we call the report viewer screen. And above, there's a number of important features here. You can change your from to dates. You can drop down into, there's a shortcut here to the respondent level report for any report in the system that you generate. So you can really drop down and take a look at individual survey respondents. And you can even edit and delete responses within the survey in this tool without having to export your raw data. You can also look at the GPS coordinates. You can save, print, email on the fly. If this was a chart, you could change your chart types in the system, the color schemes of your chart and graphs, etc. You can also export any report on the fly here in Adobe, PDF, Word, PowerPoint, Excel. Lots of options. So this is one report. Why don't we go back and generate another report just to give you a sense of Why don't we go to a chart type? Let's say trend analysis. And since I selected trend analysis, I can select what questions I want to include. And since it is trend, it's asking me for a time interval. Do I want an hourly, daily, weekly, monthly? Given this is several months of data, I can see, let's select weekly. And while we're here, let me also mention that you can run your calculations based on the total number of surveys completed in the sample, or only run your calculations based on the total for each individual question. This is particularly helpful if, for example, you have branching or skip patterns in your survey. That means the total completes for each individual question may not be the same since some questions are skipped. So that's a very important feature to know about. So let's go ahead and generate this trend analysis report and have a look at this. This will show us a report instead of in the long format or tabular format. This will give us charts. And the Survey Manager has a really powerful charting tool. And this is an example of weekly intervals, shows us the frequency as well as the date of the intervals in our legend. I can go up and change on the fly the chart type. Let's say I want to see this as an area chart, not a line chart, which it showed us by default. I can go ahead and just do that on the fly. It's showing me a 2D. Maybe I want to change to 3D, and let's change to a different color scheme as well. I can go in. So I selected earth tones. So now, but let's say I want a 3D. I can go in and click the chart options, and this gives me granular control. I can go say, hey, I want to see that in 3D, or I want the legend to be in a different area on the page. There's tons of flexibility here. And what's very nice is you can set as default your changes so that at a user level, when you log in opposed to someone else, another colleague, it will remember your preferences and display the charts according to whatever you told it to in this particular chart options module. So we've applied that. We asked it to give us 3D, which it's done, earth tones, area chart, not line chart, and I can either email this on the fly, save it, and then schedule it to be pushed automatically, let's say on a weekly basis to a number of colleagues, or I can go ahead and export it in any of these formats. Or I can drive down into a respondent level report and take a look at those 109 individual respondents, and I can just go click through and take a look at them, and you'll see the responses are highlighted in bold. So this was a female between the ages of 36 to 50 who answered the first survey of the 109. I can also go in and take a look at the GPS, and we are integrated with Google Maps, so it shows me where this particular survey was when it was taken. Some nice features I was talking about earlier. You can edit responses. If I click Edit Response, it gives me a web view of this, and I can go ahead and change responses or delete a response. Okay, well, that's an overview. We only looked at two of the many different report types available in the system within the analysis report module alone. But hopefully that gives you a sense of the power of the Survey Manager's reporting capabilities. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.